After a 6-day break between games, the Railer basketball team took to the hardwood Saturday night to face the Rockford East E-Rabs. What's an E-Rab? Well, it's what you come up with when basing the nickname of your team on the school colors, red and black, and then throw an E in front of those letters for East. The E-Rabs erupted for a 5-0 lead early before Railer senior Gabe Smith drove to the basket and hit the power layup with contact. Smith hit the and one to make it 5-3. Then, next trip down the floor, it's Blake Horn giving Lincoln its first lead at 6-5 when he drains a three-pointer. But Rockford East hung around. Here's Myquan Marshall hitting the layup on the run-out after the turnover to tie things at 7-7. Now, we don't have video of it, but the most significant play of the game for Lincoln may have occurred at the 1:39 mark of the first quarter. That's when senior Carson Comnick checked into the game, his first action since injuring his wrist back on December 10th. Lincoln would trail 10-9 at the end of the first quarter, but in the second, Lincoln starts to find its rhythm offensively. Here's a nice pull-up jumper from Comnick to make it 16-13 Lincoln. Then later on, it's Brody Tungate with a jumper of his own. Then toward the end of the period, it's Brady Miller hitting the shot in the paint to put the Railers up 22-20 at the half. One recent area of concern for the Railers has been rebounding, and this game was no exception. Here's a missed three-pointer by Rockford East John Terrian Leach, but Marquis Goldsmith is there for the putback. Then it's E-Rab Myquan Marshall hitting the tray to knot the score at 33-all. Marshall led all scorers with 16 points on the night, but with time winding down in the third quarter, Railer Bryce Volakovich gets the ball to Comnick, who drains the three ball to give Lincoln a 36-33 lead heading into the final frame. To the fourth quarter we go. Blake Horn opened the scoring with baskets on the first two Railer possessions to extend Lincoln leads to 40-33, but then Rockford East turned up the heat with some run and jump double teaming on defense. The result, Lincoln's next 5 possessions went offensive foul, turnover, missed shot. That allowed the E-Rabs to claw their way back in it, and when Goldsmith hit this jumper, it gave Rockford East a 42-40 lead. Next possession for Lincoln, it's Carson Comnick from the left corner. He drains the three-pointer, and Lincoln leads 43-42. Rockford held the ball and went for the win, but the three-point attempt by Myquan Marshall missed the mark, and Lincoln escaped with a 43-42 victory.
We have spent so much time on offense and not enough on our defense. And I threatened them at half that, hey, we're not even bringing balls out next week, because I thought our defense wasn't very good either. So we're going to win with defense anyway. And, you know, we kind of buttoned down there towards the end in the last, 17 seconds.
The Railers' next game will be a Central State 8 matchup against Glenwood on Friday, January 10th. Tip-off is scheduled for 7 p.m.